Hi, this is my book, Ghosts of Glamorgan. I'm KARL-JAMES Langford, and the book itself is illustrated by Michelle Harry. Now, I've been out and about in the Vale of Glamorgan for quite some years, taking people on various walks, historically based, archaeologically based, and since 2015 I've been looking at myths and legends and ghosts. So, of an evening, for some time on a Friday, we've been doing live ghost walks, and they've been very, very popular. 30 to 40 people on some. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we've been unable to give many walks over the last year and this year. But I've still got Ghosts of Glamorgan out, my first book, part 1. And the book itself is illustrated with many stories that I've collected as a result of my organising and performing, I would say, the ghost walks across the Vale of Glamorgan and Bridgend, and including the valleys. So what I thought is that I'm doing a little bit of a promotion for Ghosts of Glamorgan Part 1, because I've got Ghosts of Glamorgan Part 2 coming out very shortly. Do I tell you a little bit about one of those stories? Let's think. Well, I think the best thing to do is, as I'm in the church graveyard at Marcross, just behind us, I've decided to turn to one of the pages in the book. And on page 78, it's quite a short story actually. So shall we begin? I think we shall. So let's do a little bit of a click. Let's see where we are. Anyway, welcome to this recording today. Ghosts of Glamorgan by KARL-JAMES Langford. And this story is entitled The Church Image by Mandy McCourt. Families lived in the Marcross area for generations. So deep breath in. My dad, John Ringwood, and husband, Dyffryn McCourt, had just taken me to lunch, and we decided to stop off at the church at Llantrithid, east of Cowbridge, Vale of Glamorgan, on the way back from the A48 heading for Marcross. We went into the church graveyard at Llantrithid. We walked around interjection, said there was going to be a story about Marcross. Well, Mandy's lived in Marcross all her life. Dad was stood by the yew tree adjacent to the porch. I took a photograph through the end window on the left, south side of the church, and then looked through. I remarked to Dad that I would freak out if someone looks back at me from the church window. Interjection. You know what's going to happen next, don't you? When we went home, back to Marcross, directly opposite this church actually, I looked upon the computer with horror. I saw a face looking back at me through the window. How ironic, after making that joke at the church. With my friends, we viewed the photograph. We saw that there were shadowy forms behind the main image that I first saw looking back at me. Interjection. You can imagine Mandy sat around the computer with all the family looking at this image. The image could portray one of the members of the Bacs family in the late 1500s that lived at Llantrithid Place, next to Llantrithid Church. Wonderful set of ruins, Llantrithid Place. Church is still used though, which is alongside the church. It was once said that a male member of the Bacs family married a woman from, drum roll, Mark Ross. I may have a link with the lady. He is married, as my family originates from the Mark-Ross area. Should have said that there. I read that wrongly, actually. I may have a link with the lady he married, as my family originates from the Mark-Ross area. And that's the link with Mark Ross today. But there are, let me say, flicking through the pages, if I can remember, my head's into the new book. We have got The Church Ghost, which we've just read out, and that one's inside this church behind me, Mark Ross. We've obviously just read the church image out, and we do actually have another story about Mark Ross. We've got stories about Dunraven, Clan Mace. We even go to the wonderful Pentleen, and we even venture into the valleys. And you know, it was so great doing this book. You know, first I saw a ghost at Merthyr Mawr, and that's what inspired me. So we've got Bridgend, Vale of Glamorgan, valleys covered in this book. So if you would like a copy, I've still got copies left. I've had great reviews on Ghosts of Glamorgan. Go down below or click if you want a copy. It's £11, and you'll be supporting a local author and keeping things going. I need a bit of money to get that next book out, but it's on its way. The Ghost of Glamorgan. Anyway, thanks for watching this today, and again, thank you in advance if you'd like to purchase a copy of my book, The Ghost of Glamorgan by KARL-JAMES Langford. Thank you very much. I've got to stop this video now somehow. It's teaching on Zoom, and what I've got to do, I've got to click. I always mutter and sort of stuff when I'm doing my YouTube stuff. I've got a little bit of a channel, so let's stop the